after first, let's say 7, 8, 9, 10 years of a very good mood, the situation changed, and we went, and we are still in a relatively difficult period, because plenty of people realize that the capitalism is difficult, basically, and the free market economy is not for everyone. It's getting more in order, but it really takes time. The question is if, and I'm not a Cuban specialist, but I'm watching some different regimes. We are in Burma, for example, we are in a couple of other countries, and the question is what will be happening in the island, because it's hardly possible to expect that the recent government will just in 1-2 years give up and see the power leaving them and moving to other people. So what I expect that they will try to do, that they will try to go more through a kind of a liberalization than to democratization. And liberalization means that they will keep the rule. They will be opening things, traveling, small business, medium business, elections on the local or regional level, and slowly and maybe incrementally moving even to democratization. But this interim period will give them enough space to turn their political positions and political advantages and political rule into the economical positions. And I think there is a big threat that they will really silently, while liberalizing, so giving the people a little bit more space and travel and games and hope, they will be basically joining the investments and privatization in the country. And then in 5-10 years, there eventually might really allow the central democratic elections and more pluralism happen. But in the meantime, they will be very well off economically. How to prevent that, I don't know, basically. But I see it as a possible, very complicated factor and kind of a trap. Again, there will be lack of independent control, probably, because I don't think that the regime will abolish the censorship quickly, that they will allow whatever international lawyers come and oversee the investment and other things. So it is potentially very dangerous momentum, and how to mitigate it, it's difficult to create answer or to elaborate, but at least to be aware of that. And I think it's finally, as Martin mentioned, everything is and will be in the hand of the people in Cuba and from Cuba. So it's very much important that they are at least aware of some of the things, and that they are trying, as Manuel mentioned an hour ago, to start roundtables to discuss very important things. They might not agree on all answers, but they hopefully will agree on some principles, what's important to do. And only through that, I think they can be enough strong vis-a-vis the government and demand some of the principles of the process. Another thing which is important is that we had no experience with the freedom. So we expected, because the communists again didn't allow us to travel, except a few people. So we expected that with the freedom, just the freedom, will solve everything. But it was a very big mistake, because the modern freedom, if it should not be only for the tycoons and for the people in power, it's freedom with the rule of law, with regulations, with the discipline, with responsibilities, with plenty of things under the surface. And we went from centralized political system to the kind of a, I would say, almost absurd liberalism, where everything was possible in the 90s. And plenty of people misused the freedom, or used the freedom to their own profit, so they were really, the people who were not ethical during the communism were also not ethical after the communism. And there were same people before and after. So freedom without the rule of law, without the regulations, without the unwritten political culture, without all other things, it's not enough. And free market economy, again, we have a feeling that change of the centrally planned economy to the free market economy will bring the profit and better life for everybody. It was again not true, because the free market economy is a very hard thing for plenty of people. Here in the United States it's more competitive, and you are used to the fact that some people are not profiting. We in Europe are used to the fact, or Western Europe especially, that basically everyone is well off. But again, it's a free market economy with a high taxation, with a very big redistribution of the taxes, with a social state basically, so with plenty of self-discipline and responsibility, where those who are rich or, let's say, middle class share good part of their profit and results with those who are not that well off. And it took us some time to understand it, and some people, they're kind of quite afraid when they understand that the free market economy it's a difficult life. And the last thing, and permit me, I'm a diplomat, I'm just from NGO, so I see the things how they are. I think without the diplomatic language, I think there is a possible specific field of the big tension between the Cubans from Ireland and Cubans from here. While the Cubans from Ireland expect that they will be those who will be partners for the government and possibly for the business. The same thing expect the Cubans from United States, probably. While the Cubans from United States are generally, not of course all of them, but generally, I think for plenty of things a little bit more ready, especially for business, because they speak languages, they are probably more self-confident, they have money, they have the entrepreneurship experience. But I think, and I know from Czechoslovakia how painful was relation between the immigrants and the dissidents inside. It's an extremely sensitive thing, and it's extremely important to try to think about that now and to start already do something. So try to do the things together. That's my last note, and let's have a drink in free Havana sooner or later.
Thank you, Shimon.